Hey, what is up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 25th, it's February, and it's 2026. All of that is completely up to debate because we really don't even know what year this is. This could be 2025. We don't know what year it is. I mean, how sad is that? How sad is that? We have people in charge that are telling us the new year starts January 1st every year, even though there's a thing called April Fools, which means April 1st was always the new year, as it would be, because it's spring. You see what I'm saying? But at any rate, someone was asking me in the comments about the Deagle report, where I think it was like 8 out of 10 Americans would be wiped out in 2025. I think that's off by a couple of years because our entire timetable is off. We've got the moon acting incorrectly. We've got the sun acting incorrectly. We have so many things acting incorrectly. We don't even know what day it is or anything. And we're so jaded because of technology. I personally took video of an airplane that went poof with a little figure eight poof around it. And I barely think about it because so much activity is going on at one time. And I wanted to pack up because I'm out of here in the morning. And I have to make another video because I forgot something in the video I did yesterday. But also, I hooked up with somebody who just started making videos not too long ago. And I've already talked about him once, and his name is The Simulated Leviathan. And I've gotten a hold of him, and I am going to have him on a live stream if the creek don't rise and the good Lord's willing. But here's the other thing. I didn't realize he was also an author. So this is who I'm talking about.
Who controls the world today? Who rules the world? Who's really in power right now? I can tell that some of you are probably shouting some things at the screen as I'm saying this. And I just want to say, cool it with the anti-Semitism, guys. Cool it with... But seriously, what if I told you that the world was taken over in 1914? Not only that, 1914 was a pre-selected date, a prophesied date for this to happen. A quick history lesson for you. In 1914, World War I broke out. And as a result of World War I, we also had World War II. If you found out that both of these great wars were pre-planned events in order to consolidate money and power to a small group of occultist elites, how would you feel about that? But it gets worse. What if I also told you that these wars were holocausts? Do you know what the meaning of the word Holocaust is? It comes from the Greek etymology of holos kostos, holocaustum, which means a burnt offering, a sacrifice to the gods. And
you see what I'm saying? There's nobody else out there doing videos like he's doing. He's actually got depth and passion, and he understands that A, time is short, and B, that this is not all a big happy accident, like, oh, we're accidentally making AI that's going to kill everybody, etc., so forth, and blah, blah, blah. He gets it. And also, he's written a book that I was totally unaware of when I originally showed him in one of my videos. Let's say that, okay? So yeah, he's wrote a book, and that's not what makes him awesome. What makes him awesome is he's come across a few things. Like, I've had this in my this idea in my head for years and years and years, but I couldn't figure out a way to actually take what I was thinking and make it into a video. And what I'm talking about is oil, crude oil. I always knew that oil was not from dinosaurs, okay? I knew that, I didn't know, but I knew that oil was basically the blood of the earth. And these people figured out how to extract the blood from the earth and have us take the earth's blood and put it into an engine and turn the earth's blood into smoke and vaporize it up into the atmosphere. You see what I mean? Because I've shown you videos before where roughnecks, oil company executives have said, we've drilled wells completely dry, gone back 10 years later, and did it all over again and got millions of barrels of oil out of it.
It is the second most prevalent liquid on Earth. Putting a price on oil is like putting a price on a pail of water. You know, no initial cost. It's in the ground, and in those days they were, some of it almost what you'd call surface mining the oil. They didn't go down deep. So in order to get the price up, they hit on the idea that they would have to make it appear to be scarce. Boy, after we take the next few barrels out, we're probably going to have to close as well, that kind of thing. Well, a very fortuitous event. In 1892, there was a convention in Geneva of scientists to determine what organic substances are. At this Geneva Convention, Rockefeller took advantage of sending some scientists over. They defined oil as a residue from formerly living matter. Well, that makes it a fossil fuel. I don't know why they decided to use the word fossil, but it says formerly living matter is fossil. And another thing we should know is that there has never been a fossil, a real fossil, found below 16,000 feet. We mine oil, or we drill for oil, at 30,000, 33,000, 28,000 every day of the week. So right there, we rule it out that it isn't fossil fuel. It's called fossil fuel for the minds of the public to feel that it is an asset that is running out, being depleted. We talk about depletion allowance, which is a lot of, and actually, if you know the world's oil supply, you know that it is not going to run out for an awfully long time. What bothers me is that in geology books, it's in there. The geologists say it's a fossil fuel. They've been bought to create a world price for oil. In other words, not 30 cents a gallon here and 90 cents a gallon there, but let's get a world price. That's their goal.
It's all a lie. It's all a lie. And it's astonishing to me watching people thinking that all of a sudden all these truths, we're finding out things we never knew. You're finding out things that we've been sacrificing our credibility, our reputations, our incomes, and our sanity for decades trying to tell people. You know what I mean? Children going missing. Epstein's not the first one. Epstein's not the last one. I believe Turning Point has just picked up the reins for Epstein Island right now. Or Epstein Island's probably still running. We don't know. We don't know anything. But this is a thing. They take children. They need adrenochrome. Period. Aleister Crowley. These people are all into black magic. If you want to learn how to make technology, if you want to take rocks and sand and other earthly elements and take them and somehow turn them into a computer, that's crazy. You would never just go, you know what? If I take a few rocks and some sand and put it together with some heat and some wires and then put it together, it doesn't work like that, okay? It doesn't. I don't care how deep of a thinker you are. Every single solitary, ooh, look what I did. Oh, caught again. I'm a crisis actor because I've been on the news numerous times. You know why I've been on the news numerous times? I got a big mouth. I don't take shit. I don't turn the other cheek. And I've been all over the United States for years and years and years. It is what it is. A crisis actor, using my own name, Richard Comito Jr. Really? I don't know why I just went down that rabbit hole, but whatever. Let me show you something that really bothered me, and I'm going to be investigating this firsthand because I'm in the general area. This right here is a massive problem that you're not hearing about anywhere whatsoever at all.
November 14th, 2025, 9:42 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. A conference room in Phoenix. Representatives from 7 states sit across from federal officials. On the wall, a countdown timer displays the number of days remaining until the Colorado River Compact expires. 336 days. The meeting was supposed to produce an agreement, a framework for sharing water from the Colorado River, the most important river in the American West. The lifeline for 40 million people across 7 states. The source of irrigation for 5.5 million acres of farmland that produce 90% of America's winter vegetables. Instead, the representatives leave without signing anything. Arizona's delegation walks out first, then California. Colorado's team sits in silence, staring at maps showing reservoir levels that should not be possible. This is the 3rd missed deadline in 18 months. Here is what most people do not realize. Lake Mead and Lake Powell, the 2 largest reservoirs in the United States, sit at 37% capacity. At current consumption rates and projected snowpack, both reservoirs could fall below minimum power pool elevation within 18 months. When that happens, Hoover Dam and Glen Canyon Dam stop generating electricity. The turbines go silent. 4.2 million people lose power. But the power failure is not the crisis. The crisis is what happens when 7 states that cannot agree on water cuts watch their primary water source drop below usable levels while the federal government prepares to impose cuts for the first time in 103 years. The impossible is happening. The Colorado River is running dry, and nobody can agree on what to do about it. Here is what negotiators are not saying publicly. The current winter snowpack across the Colorado River basin sits at 23% of the median. Climate models predicted this water crisis would manifest in the 2040s. It is happening right now in early 2026. The timeline for action is not years, it is months. And the political deadlock suggests there will be no agreement, no compromise, no solution that prevents catastrophe. The Colorado River Compact, the legal framework that has governed Western water for a century, is collapsing. And when it falls, it may take the entire economy of the American Southwest with it.
So yeah, the Colorado River is running dry, which means the Hoover Dam isn't going to be able to do its job. Okay? So that could mean a couple of things. Biblical, but we'll get into that at some other time. That is going to destroy so many people that live in this area. Nevada, Utah, Arizona. It is going to cause a massive problem. Meanwhile, they have no issue at all whatsoever building data centers in Arizona, Utah, Nevada, etc. But, don't worry about that, because Sam Altman, the person that's married to another guy and then killed one of the whistleblowers that worked for him and that came out and tried to warn us about him, he's got it all figured out. Data centers aren't the problem. You are.
One of the things that is always unfair in this comparison is people talk about how much energy it takes to train an AI model relative to how much it costs a human to do one inference query. But it also takes a lot of energy to train a human. It takes like 20 years of life and all of the food you eat during that time before you get smart. And not only that, it took like the very widespread evolution of the 100 billion people that have ever lived and learned not to get eaten by predators and learned how to figure out science and whatever to produce you, and then you took whatever you took. So the fair comparison is, if you ask ChatGPT a question, how much energy does it take once its model is trained to answer that question versus a human? And probably AI has already caught up on an energy efficiency basis measured that way.
Wow, okay.
Really? Really? What are we, retarded here? Seriously? What are we, mentally retarded? We don't understand anything? If you're offended by that, I don't know what to tell you, because mentally retarded people exist. Mental retardation is an adjective of a specific problem certain people have. Most people have it, don't even realize it, sadly. But this dude just said, well, people drink water too. Yeah, people don't drink millions of gallons of water every single solitary day. And if they do, they don't move into the middle of the desert where millions of gallons of water a day are the lifeblood. You see how we're doing the lifeblood? Oil, the lifeblood of the earth, are the lifeblood of the area. It's unbelievable to me. It's absolutely unbelievable. But I'm in the area. I've got footage of Lake Mead. And I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. When you smoke your computers, I got to pull everything out of the hard drive. It's a long story. I'm just going to go get new footage because it's right down the road. At any rate, on to the next topic. It's unbelievable that we're at this particular juncture right now. If anybody else can find pictures of the giant item that was delivered to the Mayo Clinic with all the drones and police cars and road closures and cloak and dagger and mysterious box and nobody knows what was in it, etc., rjcjr10 at yahoo.com. Check this out.
This is a standard Holy Bible. It has the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Apocrypha. It was made in 1818. From Adam unto Christ are 3,974 years, 6 months, and 10 days. And from the birth of Christ unto this present year is 1815. Then the whole sum and number of years from the beginning of the world unto this present year of our Lord God 1815 are 5,789 years, 6 months, and the said odd 10 days. And it lists the creation date 4004 BC. Here's my 1863 Cassell Publishing House Bible. And again, right at the front, the creation date is 4004 BC. 4004 BC, the date of creation, to the year that they were writing or editing the Bible, 1815, was 5,789 years, 6 months, and 10 days. And since then, it's been 211 years. 2026 is the 6,000th year.
So I informed a buddy of mine about that latest development about the 1818 and the early 1800s Bibles. Now, I got an 1800s Bible, King James Version, to prove or disprove the Mandela effect years ago. Sadly, that Bible is about 2,000 miles away from me. So a buddy of mine down in Florida is eccentric, we'll call it, okay? And he buys books. He has bought dictionaries from the 1800s, encyclopedias from the 1800s, just to prove certain things, certain words aren't what we think they are whatsoever at all. And he's going to get one of those books. And hopefully, Creek Don't Rise, the good Lord's willing, I'll be able to see that personally and relay that information to you if it's at all possible. But that just proves my point. We don't even know what year it is. We don't even know what year it is, but I got to tell you, everything seems to be coming to fruition. Everybody asked me about the girl that was talking to her ChatGPT or whatever that app was, the AI app that was explaining that 2027 they're going to do a staged alien invasion, a false flag alien invasion, and everything lined up to exactly what we've been saying for the last 10, 12, 13, 14 years. You know what I'm saying? And you got to think about this. The AI, large language model, because she's got it, so it's the consumer version, could simply be repeating to her exactly what it's found on the internet, because the story that the AI told sounded exactly like what I've been telling you. You know what I mean? Not just me, but others, but whatever. I don't know others. I know me. I've been telling you. So there it is. But a lot of crazy things are happening right now. They're destroying economies. They're going to war with everybody. They're allowing Israel to continue killing whoever they want, whatsoever at all. And this just got completed after in the making. It finally got completed in 2026. I didn't even know this was a thing.
On February the 20th, 2026, just 2 days ago, workers lifted the final arm of a 17-meter cross into the Barcelona sky. When it locked into place, the Sagrada Familia became the world's tallest church, 144 years after construction began. 144 years. That's how long this building has been under construction. Workers laid the foundation stone in 1882, before the Eiffel Tower existed, before the first skyscraper, before anyone had poured reinforced concrete. The building has survived 2 world wars, a civil war that destroyed the construction plans, a pandemic that halted work entirely, and technological revolutions that changed how humans build. So what does it take to finish a construction project that's outlasted empires? By mid-January 2026, workers had installed all 4 horizontal arms of the cross. On February 20th, they installed the upper arm, bringing the tower to its highest point. The structure is complete. The entire structure reaches 172.5 meters, taller than St. Peter's Basilica in Rome and nearly twice the height of Big Ben in London. That final height isn't arbitrary. Gaudi believed human creation shouldn't exceed God's work, so he deliberately designed the tower to stand 1 meter shorter than Montjuic Hill, Barcelona's highest natural point. The timing carries enormous significance. 2026 marks the centenary of Gaudi's death. The Sagrada Familia Foundation has planned a year of commemorative events, starting with a solemn mass on June 10th and culminating in the lighting of the Nativity facade in December.
Now, I don't know anything about this, but you see this right here, what they're showing us? something falling out of the sky into a room that appears to be full of demonic beings. I don't know, man. To be perfectly honest, I had never heard of this before, and I know about some really strange churches and structures all over the world. This one was new to me, and I just find the timing really, really strange. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, I mean, I've never heard of it. I've been into all this stuff for a long, long time, and I've never heard of that church, but there it is. There it is. And it's going to be a year of celebration. What it reminds me of is the very end of I Pet Goat 2, where they show something taking down, the church crumbles as the Antichrist is floating and the things from the sky are hitting the pyramids. Otherwise, that's all I got for right now. Richie from Boston. I will leave links pinned in the comments below. And for the boomers out there, which, oh, I'm not a boomer. Whatever. This is the description box again. This is the video, and then right below it, there's a box under every single video. It says the views, etc. And then you click right there, and it opens it up. On my videos, you go under the video, you click on the box, and then there you go. Everything you've ever needed to know. You want to help me out? There's a link for PayPal. You want to get your money out of the bank? I don't even talk about it anymore, really, because time's pretty much up. If you haven't done it yet, you better hurry up and do it now. Or don't, whatever. There's my Patreon right there. Ooh, wait a minute. I do have one more thing. I almost forgot about this. Tyler Olivera, I reached out to him. He's a large YouTuber, 8-something million subscribers, but he's got himself into a kettle. And can you imagine the people that got him in trouble? I bet you can guess, but let me show you.
You work for Hamas?
I don't want my kids should play in the house of a secular guy.
This is Curious Joel.
You're a Yiddish.
A village of 44,000 Hasidic Jews in upstate New York that primarily speak Yiddish have an average of 7 kids per family. How many kids do most people have out here?
17, 18.
How do they afford 17, 18 kids? It's one of the poorest towns in America, with 40% living beneath the federal poverty line. Many men here are religiously studying the Torah full-time and heavily rely on public assistance and welfare in the form of Medicaid, housing vouchers, food stamps, and cash aid to support their giant families that God commanded them to have. And the village enforces strict gender roles, modest dress codes, and sends their kids to private religious schools. And why is it okay for Jewish people to live together in a homogenous Jew-only community, but it's illegal when white people try to build their own? I pulled up.
So that's one video Tyler did about 3 weeks or a month ago, but then he did another video that just came out a few days ago, and they're smiting him. His Patreon got pulled down right away. He lost all of his sponsors. They're attacking him as they do. But he put out another video a couple of days ago. Take a look at this. It gets even worse. All he's doing is exposing what's completely true. The last video he did was in New York. This one's in New Jersey because these people spread like the virus that they are.
You're not welcome here, and you're not welcome in a lot of other places based on your videos.
You don't own this place. You don't own America.
No, you should move on. Nobody wants you here. Please move out.
Tyler, it seems like you discovered that anti-Semitism is lucrative, no?
So Pat obviously thought that we should pay for their money, so why don't you move to a different country? So
Why don't you go back to Israel? That would be my question.
I got like
public safety.
I would say 150 calls about you already.
What are they calling about?
People try to live a quiet life. You two gentlemen, I saw a video of you walking into 136 Hillside. They asked not to come back.
Amazing.
If you come back, it'll be a trespassing charge.
So you say anti-Semitism, I say anti-Goyism.
The Jewish community is extremely racist.
You have a group of people that call themselves God's people. You are a Semite supremacist.
Elon Musk has 12 kids. Why can't I have 12 kids?
He pays for them. You're arguing that I should pay for your kids.
I'm arguing that the government said.
That's our money. I pay taxes.
Excuse me, sir. What are you doing? Can I call the cops on you? Okay, that's it.
We may be in a corrupt hellhole. So what am I being pulled over for?
We got a call. Keep your hands on the steering wheel when you do so.
This is Lakewood, New Jersey, home to one of the largest and fastest growing Orthodox Jewish communities in America, having anywhere from 6 to 10 kids per family, causing the community's rapid growth to spill into the neighboring towns of Jackson, Toms River, Brick, and Howell, causing non-Jewish residents to fear that their town will soon be turned into Little Jerusalem, just like Lakewood.
So Tyler got smoked. he's done great videos. These 2 videos are like an hour long a piece, and all they're showing is that while everyone, including myself, are looking at the Muslims taking over, the Jews are here, and we're paying for it again. It seems like nobody that's white in America is having children, unless you're a Jew, hidden all over the place. And you saw it. They instantly pulled his sponsors. Imagine having 8 million subscribers and they pull your sponsors. That's $500,000 to $1 million a month you lose. So he sets up a Patreon. Within a day, Patreon page is completely and utterly removed. But yeah, it's conspiracy theory that the Jews run everything. They do. Watch those 2 videos because I'll pin them in the comments below as well. At any rate, Tyler, I got your back. I told you I would, and I did. Links will be below, and I downloaded his videos in case his channel gets pulled. At any rate, Richie from Boston, I'll be back if the creek don't rise and the good Lord's willing. If not, it is what it is. Pray. Excuse me. Pray. Pray, pray, pray. I just prayed in the shower for the longest time. Pray all the time, and pray with your words, not just in your head. It's important. Or don't. I'm out.